welcome back to another video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to leave a link down below to our main channel. Sorry if I sound a little bit weird. I don't know, I woke up very sick today. And so did our cameraman. We were supposed to film a BMW M850i review. And yeah, didn't go all that well for us. So I made you guys a quick little nice video for those guys who are out there who kind of can't really decide what's the perfect first car for them. So I'm just gonna talk about some cars based on performance, looks and price, somewhat reliability, but that's not the main focus, otherwise I'll be just talking about Corollas and Civics the whole day. So let's just get straight into it. The first car is the Volkswagen GTI, specifically the 2013 model. Because I know a couple of guys that own a 2013 model and they love the car. It does have some problems, but obviously it comes back to the way they drive and how they treat it. So that's that. This car comes with a inline-4 turbo engine, I think 2.0 turbo engine, that makes around 217 horsepower. And the cool thing about this car is you'll never see him driving it. It's always this guy. So it's kind of a young boy car, and it looks great, as you guys can see. And the really cool thing about this car is it's very cheap. You can get it from 25,000 dirhams. I'll put it up here in dollars, and 25,000 dirhams up till 35 to 40,000 dirhams, obviously depending on the condition. So yeah, it's a pretty nice car, especially for a first car. It's a hot hatch, so the car is, it's small, it's easy to handle, and all these kinds of things. Number 2, the Hyundai Veloster 2019. Now, why 2019? Because I've also reviewed a 2019 model Veloster, and I don't know if you like to call it Veloster or Veloster. Some people just call it this, some people call it that, but I just call it Veloster. Here's what it looked like before the major upgrade it had. And here is what it looks like now. Obviously a massive change. The car looks 360% different. The car looks great now. Obviously a lot more, sporty, or a lot more young boy sports car, fast car kind of thing. Again, it's a hatchback. It's a small car, so you're not really expecting 500 horsepower out of it. But the car makes around 201 horsepower. A 1.6 liter engine that makes, I'm getting confused with all the numbers, 1.6 liter engine that makes 201 horsepower, and it's a 4-cylinder, so it's, again, it's a nice car. It's a nice car. And the good thing about it is if you compare it to the GTI performance-wise, the GTI will always win when it comes to performance. If both the cars are stock, the GTI is going to win, obviously given that it has more horsepower. But if you look at some other features, like at least the Veloster has a infotainment system, So the Veloster can come from somewhere around 50,000 dirhams up to 70,000 dirhams if you want to get it brand new from like the dealership. But if you want to get a used one, you can possibly even find one for 40 to 45,000 dirhams. Anyways, number 3, I have a Ford Mustang EcoBoost. I've had this baby here for almost a year, and to be honest with you, so far so good, no problems. This is a 2016 model. Anyways, 310 horsepower, inline-4, 2.3 liter engine, turbo. It's got a nice turbo on it. It's obviously there's a bit of lag and all that, since it's a very small turbo compared to the size of the car, let's say. So there's a bit of a delay kind of. And this car you can get for around 40,000 dirhams up to 60,000 dirhams, depending on the specs, the options, and obviously the condition of the car now. But the good thing about them is you have a great infotainment system. You have options in for the price you pay. If you're gonna pay 40 to 45,000 dirhams, you're really getting a lot of good options on this car. But if it's your first car, you should kind of be looking for a 4-door, not a coupe. because as you can see, there's only two doors on this car, and you know, when I first got the car and I wanted to take my friends around, it was fairly difficult because there isn't all that much space for people to sit in the back unless you just genuinely have a 10-year-old sitting back there, because that's pretty much all you can fit. Number 4, and this is for more of the rich boys. So if you are a guy with a little bit of money, this kind of would make sense to you. The 2019 BMW Z4 20i. Now 20i is the weakest, but it's also the cheapest, so it kind of makes sense to be on the list. Like, I don't want to put the most powerful one because it would be unfair, because obviously it's a lot more expensive than the rest. I've done a review on that car on my main channel, so if you're interested in it, you can check it out. It's a great car, and let me tell you, I'm not really sure how much it costs, but the car is great. Obviously, it's a BMW, so you know, compared to the rest, it's obviously the best when it comes to infotainment system, you know, the driving modes, technology, shifting points, and all these kinds of different things. This car beats in every single way possible. But performance is what really matters here. You know, I see it beating the Veloster because, let me tell you, it has a 2.0 4-cylinder engine that makes just 194 horsepower. A little, but here's what makes up for that little horsepower: a twin turbo powered engine. And BMW turbos are, you know, they're a BMW turbo, so it's, you know, it's a lot better than all the turbos in all these cars, because all of these cars are turbo, and you know, the Volkswagen is kind of questionable. So is Hyundai for sure. Ford as well. I'm not gonna lie and kind of protect my car, even though I love it. But all these turbos aren't all really top quality. But when it comes to BMW, there's obviously no question about it. The car looks all great, sporty, young boy, rich boy kind of thing. Though I don't really see an 18, 19-year-old driving it, but you can still do it if you have the money. Again, I'm not too sure how much it costs, but it should be somewhere around 80, 90,000 dirhams. I'll check it up and I'll correct myself and I'll put it up here. And finally, obviously this is one of my favorite cars, and one of the cars that I am dreaming to get as a project car for the channel. It is the Nissan 350Z. Now, let me tell you a couple of things real quick. My favorite model is the 2009 model. If you're gonna ask me why, I'm gonna tell you I don't know, but I feel like they're just the most powerful. Again, I could sound pathetic to you, or it could make sense to you, so let me know. But it, you know, it came with a V6 engine that made 306 horsepower, and that's the only car we have not reviewed. So I'm not pretty sure if it's the best one out of these cars when it comes to performance. But obviously, given the facts of, you know, 306 horsepower V6, it would kind of make sense that, you know, it beats all. But whatever, it's an amazing car. Like, it's a great car. Obviously, if you're a car guy, you would know that. But if you're not a car guy, then you should probably completely forget about that car, because you're not getting an infotainment system in the specifically 2009 model. After that, I don't really, like, I'm not talking about that, but a 2009 model, and you guys will know why in just a second. So you're getting all that very nice power. The car looks beautiful. But when it comes to options and, you know, the interior, you look inside and you feel like you're just kind of looking at a Nissan Sunny, really. But what covers up for all that is the price you can get the car for. You can get this car for anywhere between 17,000 dirhams to 26,000 dirhams, and depending on the condition of the car. Because here's the thing, why is there such a massive price gap? Well, the massive price gap is obviously because some people took their cars, they beat the hell out of their cars. They put weird body kits that, you know, they kind of put holes all over the car, so obviously that kind of took away a lot of the price, or a lot of money off the car. So that's why. Now let's just do a quick recap. The Volkswagen is front-wheel drive, so is the Veloster. It's also front-wheel drive. The Mustang EcoBoost is rear-wheel drive. The Z4 is, well, they say it's rear-wheel drive, but like, you know how BMWs work. There is kind of a whole power distribution thing going on. Some in the front, some in the back, so it's not really a true rear-wheel drive car, but whatever. And for the Nissan 350Z, it's also a rear-wheel drive. So I suggest you stick with a front-wheel drive car as your first car, unless you really know what you're doing, because rear-wheel drive cars can get pretty dangerous. And if you hang out with the wrong crowd, they're gonna tell you to do the wrong things. They're gonna, kind of cause you to be a crowd killer, if that makes sense. So make sure you know what you're doing first before buying a rear-wheel drive car, because it's fun when it comes to, I'm gonna put off my traction, step on my brakes, and put on some gas, just to hear your tires screaming and probably have to go replace them because what you did is pretty stupid. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to show us the support, and the link is down below to the main channel so you can see the reviews of these cars if you'd like to, or if you're interested in one of them. And yeah, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow, because we should film the 850 tomorrow, but I don't know, I feel like you see the kind of energy now, so if that's how it's gonna be tomorrow while filming a BMW M850, I think I'd just better off, wait. And also the guy is kind of paranoid with the whole coronavirus thing. Obviously we don't have corona, we're just, the AC was a little too cold, and we came out to film last night, and then we went inside in the AC, so that kind of makes sense. But I don't want to bother you guys too much with all that. If you liked the video, I think I've said this before, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.